Hello, and welcome to another episode of PC Building Simulator. How's everyone's Thursday going? You know, pre-Friday, a Friday Eve, whatever you want to call it. It's getting close to the weekend. Hopefully you've got some exciting plans for the weekend. Let's hop into our emails here and get started. See what we have going on. It looks like we've got 3 builds to do today, so let's start with this first email. It says, "Hi. I'm after a new rig. Can you build something good? There's this game I really want to play, a Feudal Fantasy. Don't try and pass off any used parts. I want all new stuff. Intel components are meant to be the bomb." So they want to play a Feudal Fantasy, a recommended spec. Let's go ahead and accept that one. Next email here says, "Do you work with computers? I need a new computer if you're available. I want the system cooled with a custom loop. Can you finish it in 9 days? EK components are meant to be the bomb. Don't try and pass off any used parts. I want all new stuff." So I think for 3,500 bucks we can make that happen. Let's accept that one. And the last one we're going to do in this episode says, "Hi, I need some help. So I hear you're good at building PCs. In terms of performance, I want it to benchmark around 5594. I like AIO water coolers. Let's put one of those in. MSI components are meant to be the bomb. ASAP, please. It's urgent." So I think we can make that one happen as well. So I'm going to step away as usual. I'm going to get a build put together for this first one, and as soon as I have something, I will be right back. Alright, so for this first build, we're going to go with an Asus ROG Maximus Code motherboard, an i7 8700K, a Kraken X72, 2 sticks of Patriot Viper RGB 8GB 3200 MHz, an Asus GTX 1080 Ti. I know it doesn't say Ti on there, but it is a Ti. 1TB hard drive, 960 gig M.2 drive, a Silverstone NJ520. Oh, it didn't add my case. Whoops. Make sure we get the case added. And I forgot to leave up the will it run. So, Feudal Fantasy. Just slacking today. So Feudal Fantasy was a recommended spec. So there's the recommended spec. We're definitely beating that with a 1080 Ti and an 8700K. Alright. So for this next build, it's got some water cooling parts and whatnot. I will get a build put together for that and be right back. Alright, so for this custom water cooled build, we're going to go with a Asus ROG Maximus Formula board, an 8086K, 2 sticks of a Trident Z RGB 8GB 3200 MHz, 3TB hard drive. We're also going to put in a Patriot Scorch M.2, so 512 gig, which we already have in our inventory. We're going to put in this EVGA Supernova 750 T2. We're going to put it in the Lee PC001 Dynamic. As for the water cooling portion, we're going to go with a EK water block reservoir, a EK CPU block, an EK 360mm radiator, as well as a EK GTX 1080 Ti. And then for our last build here, we're just looking for a 3D Mark score of 5594 with an AIO. We can make that happen. I'm going to step away, get that build put together, and be right back. Alright, and for the last build, we're going to go with a MSI Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard. We're going to do another, let's see, where is it up here? Another 8700K. A Kraken X62, 2 sticks of Gigabyte Aorus, 8GB 3200 MHz RAM, an MSI 1080 Ti, a 4TB hard drive. We've also got another Patriot Scorch M.2 512 gig SSD in our inventory. We're going to put in there. We're going to put a Gigabyte 750 watt power supply, and we're going to put it in a NZXT H710i case. So let's go ahead and buy this for next day delivery. Let's go get our water cooling parts for next day delivery. Let's go end our day, and we can get in all of our parts and our cases and all that good stuff and get started building. Okay. Got in something extra. Must be something I ordered off of PC Bay. So let's start getting cases put on workbenches, and then we'll get the proper names associated with those cases. Okay. So this first one is Bedford. The next one is T. Malik for the custom water cooling. And P water, or P waters. However you look at it, that's gross. So, yeah. Alright, let's get started with this build. Get this case taken apart. We can go ahead and get our motherboard put into it. Excuse me. Let's see, it's the Maximus code. So we'll get that installed. And let's go ahead and get it ready for CPU and RAM. This is getting an 8700K, as well as 2 sticks of Patriot Viper RAM. Let's do that. That's some cool looking RAM. Okay. Get some thermal paste on there, and we can go ahead and get the X7 installed. Get that screwed down. There we go. Okay, this is getting an ADATA M.2, so we'll get that installed, as well as a 1 terabyte hard drive. There it is. And let's go ahead and get the power supply in while we're back here on this side. It's going to be the Silverstone NJ520. Okay, let's get these out of the way. And we can go ahead and get our graphics card in. Let's see. Where is it? It's this ROG Strix 1080 Ti. Okay. Let's cable this up. Let's use... Doesn't the Strix light up kind of a blue color? Like this cyan. Let's try that. If it looks terrible, we can always swap it out. Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's get these side panels on, because this one likes to shut down when you put the side panel on this side. Let's power it on. We can hop into the BIOS. Let's go ahead and turn our XMP on. Make sure we're booting from the right drive. We can let it install. Oh. It would help installing if I had a USB stick in there. Let's power cycle this. Okay, so we should be good, but all this color just isn't working for me. So let's put the lighting app on there real quick. We can adjust the colors of all of our RGB stuff here. Okay. So I'm going to see if I can make everything this blue color. So that's 228255. Let's see. 228255. There we go. Oh, even the in-win. That's very nice. Let's close that out. Let's have a look at it without the UI in the way. I think that looks great. Let's go put this out in the hallway, and we can move on to this custom water cooling build. Let's see, this one you got to take the top off first, and then the sides. I don't think we're mounting anything up in the top, but I'm going to go ahead and put the 360 mil radiator in here first. Okay. So this one, let's go back to these parts, is getting this Asus ROG Maximus Formula board. Let's get this thing ready for CPU and RAM. Let's see, this one's getting the 8086K, as well as 2 sticks of G-Skill Trident Z. There we go. Go ahead and put some thermal paste on the CPU. I'm going to go ahead and put the block on, which is this nice black looking one. Get some stuff out of our way. This is getting a Patriot M.2, so let's go ahead and put that in, but we can't anymore. You can also hop over here, grab our water-cooled graphics card and get that put in. Okay, let's come back here to the back side and get our power supply, which is this Supernova. What? Not sure how I managed to do that. Let's get the Supernova in there. And I think this one, we're putting a 3 terabyte hard drive in as well. Let me go ahead and grab that. Oh, that's right. You have to pull this little... You have to pull this panel. And then you can install the hard drive. And let's get that little back panel back on. Okay. Now, see if we can get our reservoir in here. I think we're just about ready to pipe this and cable it up. Let's start with the cabling. I'm going to go with... color do I want to use? Maybe just a light gray. Kind of matches some of the stuff in here. And then we'll have some RGB as well. Okay, we can start piping. How do we want to cool this beast? Let's definitely do some rigid tubing. Let's go from there to there. I'm cool with that. Go from there to there. Excuse me. From there to the graphics card. And we'll see if we can get this to run from the graphics card back to... That looks terrible, though. Let's not have... Really? I can't just... There we go. So many stupid bins in this. I'll just get it away from everything that's there first. We'll run that. Run that over there. I'd like to bring this down. Maybe not that far down. Okay. You lock onto that so I can straighten it. There we go. Get this all evened out here in a minute. What kind of absolute stupidity is happening here? Well, that's about as close to perfect as I'm gonna make it. Make sure everything's cabled up. Let's get some coolant in the system. Let's see. We go for some white, maybe. Run through our long, crazy tube over here. While that's running through, I'm going to go ahead and put a USB drive in here just so I don't forget. Okay. We ready to power it up? And hop into our BIOS. Always like to turn XMP on, make sure we're booting from the proper drive, and we can let it install the OS. Okay, how are our colors looking here? That's actually not too bad. We've got red and red. Well, the green. So it's Christmas colors. It's not quite Christmas yet. We're getting close. I'm okay with those colors, actually. Let's start putting this case back together. I'll get the top panel on. Yeah, that's not so bad. Okay. So let's go put this out in the hall. Okay, let's get this case taken apart. Let's see. Take the top off. If I remember right, we're putting a water cooler in this. But let's start with our motherboard. Going to be this Z3... Oh, I have a used one too. The Z370 Gaming Pro Carbon. Get that installed. Let's get this ready for RAM and CPU. This one's also getting an 8700K. Just doling out the 8700Ks today. Well, let's go ahead and throw some thermal paste on it. Let's get our RAM, which is the Gigabyte Aorus RAM. And let's go ahead and hopefully our cooler fits this case. Oh, it does. Good. Get our Kraken X62 installed. Let's see, how do we want to mount this? I think maybe we'll mount the GPU out here. Let's get our M.2 in first. We've got the Patriot Scorch. And where do hard drives go? Back here? So we've got a hard drive for it as well. Okay. Get our graphics card. Whoops. Which is the GTX 1080 Ti Gaming X. And we'll get our power supply in there, which is a Gigabyte Aorus power supply. Oh, this has one of those mounting rings on it, so we'll get that out of our way. And I select, thank you. Let's go ahead and put that PSU mount back on. Okay. I think we're ready to cable it now. Let's do... We've got some red in there. Let's go for red. Get everything cabled up. Lots of front fans here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put the top panel back on just in case. I think it's already cabled up, but okay, it's not showing up. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and grab a USB drive, get that put in, and we will power this on. We'll fix those colors in a minute. Turn our XMP on. Make sure we're booting from the right drive. And we'll let the OS get installed. Okay. Let's get 3D Mark on. And our lighting app. Let's see what we got color-wise. It's not too bad. You can change that NZXT to red. Let's see, let's just change. Let's just 255 in the red. Let's change anything that isn't red to red. Oh yeah, it's not bad at all. Okay, so let's get 3D Mark running. We've got to get a 3D Mark score of 5594. So I'm going to let this run. As soon as it's done, I will come back and show you guys the score. So there you have it, 8671. Definitely beat the score of 5594. Let's get this case put back together, and we can get this out into the hallway and start collecting some money. All right. That doesn't look half bad. The red and white and black look pretty good together. All right. Put it out in the hall. Well, let's get this stuff out of our way. And we should be ready to collect some money. And the last one. Perfect. Okay, so we got some new parts, a new Be Quiet case, some PC-based stuff, and some new emails, which we will get around to in the next episode. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys in the next episode.